I'm Dr. Virgil Troy, and this is the Bali Man Gladiator Diet, and today I'm going to talk to you about this, the BROAD study, a randomized controlled trial using a whole food plant-based diet in the community for obesity, ischemic heart disease, or diabetes. That's coming up next. So earlier this morning, I was heading off over to an appointment on the other side of town, and I thought I would listen to a podcast, or it was YouTube or something like that. So I set it up to play via Bluetooth in my car, and I was listening to an interview done by Plant-Based News and Dr. Michael Greger, and it's about his new book coming out called How Not to Diet. And part of the way through, all of a sudden I heard him talk about some study that was done here in New Zealand, which after I found out about it is literally just up the road in Gisborne. We're in Napier, they're in Gisborne. And it was talking about how a plant-based intervention in terms of education, rather than actually forcing people or giving them a restricted diet or anything like that, the kind of effects that it had in the community with those people that undertook the education versus those that didn't. Now, it's all being done, it's all sort of highlighted here, it's very, very scientifically undertaken, and the results were pretty amazing. Essentially, based on purely educating people alone and talking to them about the how to and the why to in terms of their eating, they were able to show not only an initial drop in weight, which was considerable, but also the long-term effects of that drop in weight and the fact that people were able to keep it off because they learnt how to keep it off. So if you look at the conclusions of the research, and I'm going to read them here because it's just under here, and I'll put a link to this article so you can download it and have a look yourself. But the conclusions are, the program led to significant improvements in BMI, cholesterol, and other risk factors. And to the best of their knowledge, the research has achieved greater weight loss at 6 and 12 months than any other trial that does not limit energy intake or mandate regular exercise. So what that basically says is by ditching the animal products, ditching the processed foods, and just educating people, and many of those people were still eating some of those things that I said to ditch, but by increasing the overall plant-based nature of your diet, can have significant effects and improvements on overall health. So the most important thing here from my perspective to take away from this is that it's all about personal education, educating yourself, learning as much as you can, and being very, very careful not to get caught up in the whole marketing hype. And when I say marketing hype, anything that asks you to, or as a condition of you achieving something, requires you to buy a special tonic, a bit of snake oil, or a special supplement, or a particular nutritional range of additives and supplements, or protein shakes, etc., that have this particular label on it. Anything that requires you to do that has ultimately a marketing objective. So I believe, and what this research shows, and what the research that I'm researching shows, is that there's no money to be made in eating things like barley and broccoli and rice, etc. I mean, eating those products in their original form, cooking them in the way in which they were meant to be eaten, and eating them in a way that has variety and interest with herbs and spices, etc. And a little bit of preparation, not a lot, a little bit of preparation. As I showed you before, I can prepare an entire week's worth of food, which my family is now eating, so I have to prepare a little bit more. I can do that in about half an hour. So it is easy once you know how, but that learning process does take time. And the most important thing you can do is start now. Even if there's just one thing that you change to your overall eating and adding and moving more towards a plant-based diet, the healthier your body will be. Your body is designed to heal itself. So if you're in ill health at the moment, there are things you can do. There are steps that you can take to go about improving your overall outlook and getting your body back into a healthy state. So I would strongly recommend a whole food plant-based diet, and I hope that your journey continues to go well and that you're learning from these videos.